Before we get started tonight on talking about the upcoming deer season, I just want to let everybody know, for those that are interested, my cigar for the night is a Quorum Shade in the Robusto, a good smooth smoking cigar. And as always, my drink is a Jack and Coke. So let's get started with talking about some changes to the upcoming season. We're down at the barn tonight, and am I glad to be down here. It's the temperatures in the month of August here have been so hot. I mean, we've been running mid 90s now for the past 20 to 30 days. And today, as I was leaving work, I checked the temperatures, and it was 78 degrees outside. And I said, holy smoke. I need to get down to the barn. I haven't been down here in a while. I did do a low country bowl for Janelle and her co-workers from the doctor's office. I might slide a picture of that in here. But short of that, I haven't been down in this barn in a while, other than taking care of critters and stuff like that. But I wanted to try to get this done on Saturday. Today's Wednesday, and but it was just too hot to get down here and do any type of filming. But I'm taking advantage of it tonight. And why Saturday? Well, Saturday was the third Saturday in August, which is the opening day of squirrel season, and that's always been an exciting day for me. A target date in what tells me that it won't be long and fall will be here. Right after that, you got dove season starts on the 1st of September, and then after that we hit the months of October, and we start doing some early muzzleloader season, youth season, and stuff. So exciting time of the year, but it's also the time when the Kentucky Hunting and Trapping Guide hits the stands at your local sports stores and stuff, and true to form, ours hit our Walmart right on Saturday, right on time. And what I want to go over this year is some changes. I call them major changes. I guess it depends on what you consider to be a major change, but it's a change that hasn't happened in several years when it comes to our deer seasons, because usually they're always so predictable. They start the same times, they end the same time. The limits very seldom change. Every once in a while, a county will be a county will change its zone number, which may change your the number of deer you can harvest in that county. But this year, we've got changes unlike any change we've had before. And for the most part, I'm pretty excited about them. I don't know if I'm really excited about one of them, but it does give. So chronic waste disease, according to Wikipedia. Let me look it up here for you. It's sometimes called the zombie deer disease. It's a transmissible spongiform encephalopathy, TSE, affecting deer. TSEs are a family of diseases caused by misfolded proteins called pyrons, and includes similar diseases such as BSE, which is mad cow disease in cattle, the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD, in humans, and scrapie in sheep. It affects all members of the deer family, which in the United States includes your mule deer, white-tailed deer, red deer, sika deer, elk, bison, antelope, caribou, and moose. They have found it in other species with experimental settings. The symptoms are behavioral changes such as weight loss, decreased interaction with other animals, tremors, repetitive walking in a set pattern, increased drinking and urination, excessive salivation, and grinding of the teeth, loss of fear of humans, and confusion. And here's the part that I'll bring up here again later here. It's 18 to 24 months after initial exposure, and it's confirmed based on symptoms by examination of the brain tissue. And the way you get rid of it is through incarceration and disposable infected deer carcasses. You want to exterminate as many of the infected deer as possible. There is no treatment for it, and it's always a fatal situation. So the next question a lot of people wonder or ask themselves is, can you eat a deer that has CWD? What the biologists say, the Kentucky Fish and Game Guide and the CDC recommend is that if it's been tested and it's been tested as positive for CWD, you should not eat it. The meat should not be eaten. And although they have never had any confirmed cases of CWD transmitting to humans, it's highly discouraged, highly recommended that you don't eat the deer, that you go on and burn the carcass and or dispose of it in the proper landfills. Earlier I said that the 14 counties that they were all number one counties. That wasn't quite true. All but 2 of them were number one zone, which means that you can harvest an unlimited number of antlerless deer using a statewide deer permit and additional deer permits. Meade County and Breckinridge County. So I guess if I were in a zone 1 county, hunting in a zone 1 county, I would do my part by harvesting as many of the deer that have the traits of CWD, so I can do my part in eliminating and eradicating the disease from those zones, knowing that I'm not going to be able to eat any of the meat that I harvest, which sounds wasteful, but then again, it's the humane thing to do. The deer's going to die anyway, and it's biologically and conservatively, you would want to try to clear up as much of the disease in that zone as possible, so that it can at some time go back to normal restrictions in hunting and all that, if it's even possible. I don't even know if it's possible once it's been detected in a county or a zone, if it can ever go back to being normal again. If you have your, and it is going to be required that you have your deer tested, the ones you do harvest. If you have it tested and it doesn't have the symptoms of CWD, then it's okay to eat the deer meat. But note that I earlier said that it takes 18 to 24 months in some cases for the disease to even develop or show signs of infection to begin with. So it's possible that you might get a negative reading of a deer that has CWD. It just hasn't progressed to the point where it's testing positive. So I guess that it would be up to the person harvesting the deer whether they want to take the risk of eating the deer or not. So good news in that they've added 2 more days to the hunting season with a gun, which hasn't happened in Kentucky in quite some time. But also, if you're dealing with an area that's got a high population of CWD, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to fill your freezer with meat that you would normally be able to do on a regular basis or on a normal hunting season limit. So the counties in the western, southwestern portion of Kentucky are McCracken, Ballard, Carlisle, Hickman, Fulton County, Graves County, Marshall County, and Callaway County. And then we've got Henderson, Union County, and Webster. And then Meade County, Breckinridge County, and Hardin County are the other 6. And again, the 3 that were added this year was Henderson, Union, and Webster. So Henderson, Union, and Webster are kind of in the northwestern part of the state, and Hardin County, Meade County, and Breck County are more central, north central part of the state. They were CWD last year, and they, along with the ones in the southwestern portion of Kentucky. So an increase of 3 counties, and which brings our total up to 4. And if it's a CWZ zone, there have been confirmed cases of CWD in those counties, or else otherwise it wouldn't be included in that zone. So good news, not so good news. It's, let me know in the comments what you think. Are you going to go out and hunt? Are you going to go out and do your part and try to take out some diseased deer and get them out of the herds? Or do you think you're going to pass on it? Let me know what you think there in the comments, and let's just to get an idea of what people are thinking about doing. Other news that has also increased the number of days of hunting is the youth-only modern gun season has been expanded to 9 days. So now your youth are able to hunt through what was normally the regular season of October the 11th through the 17th, and then the 18th and 19th is our early muzzleloader season. They've extended the youth hunt by 2 days, which goes into the muzzleloader season. So you can actually be in your deer stand or your deer blind with a youth hunter that can hunt with a modern rifle, modern gun, while you're up there hunting with a muzzleloader. So different. First time that's changed like that, and I don't think there's been a change that significant in a while. But it just goes to prove something that, if you watched my video on deer hunting on Fort Knox, and when I talked about the different seasons and all that, it just goes to prove that Kentucky is a very pro-youth state when it comes to deer hunting. They've now extended the youth-only season by 2 days, which I think is awesome. It gives them at least 2 weekends now to hunt out there, to where they don't have to take out of school and whatnot. But they've got 2 weekends now that they can hunt, and any opportunity we've got to get our youth out and get them introduced to the sport of hunting is a positive thing in my mind. So that for our youth, and oh, by the way, let's not forget that we still have in Kentucky the free youth weekend, which this year will be December 27th and 28th uh, for youth to be able to hunt without any license or anything like that. So an opportunity to get even more youth out there to hunt that may or may not have had the opportunity to hunt before during the regular gun seasons. Otherwise, there's no change in the ages of the youth or youth requirements for whether they need to buy a license or not. Your resident or non-resident hunter younger than 12 are not required to purchase license and permits, except they must apply for quota hunts. If they want to hunt in a quota hunt, they have to apply for it. Resident hunters ages 12 to 15 are eligible to purchase a discounted youth license and permits, which are valid for the entire license year if they are purchased before the youth is 16 years old. So if you can buy one in September when you're 15, and then let's say you turned in October you turned 16, that license is still legal for you to be able to hunt on it because you purchased it before your 16th birthday. You always have to be accompanied by an adult, and persons under 12 years old who have passed a hunter education course may also hunt small game, fur birds, migratory birds, waterfowl without being accompanied by an adult. But that's if you pass the hunter education course. The annual youth hunting license authorizes the holder to hunt all small game species, fur bearers, and migratory birds. Hunters are exempt from purchasing a state migratory bird waterfowl permit and a duck stamp. The youth deer permit allows a hunter to take 4 deer. To harvest more than 4 deer, a youth hunter must purchase an additional deer permit. The youth turkey permit can be used during any turkey season, and the resident-only youth sportsman license include the same license and permits as the standard sportsman's license. So some good news there. Let me look up the cost of these licenses, because like I said, they didn't change. The cost of a youth license 12 to 15, which allows for the 4 deer, is $10, which is an awesome rate. And for our non-resident youth, it's $15. Neither of those are a change from previous years, and that's a pretty good deal. So if they want an additional permit for additional deer, they could buy an additional deer permit, which allows them to kill 2 more deer for a cost of $15, and that's both for your resident and non-resident youth. I love Kentucky for that. I think they're very pro youth hunting, and I know I started hunting when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I think it's a great thing to help get our youth introduced to a great sport out there. For adult deer hunters, the resident license hasn't changed. It's still $27 for hunting, $35 for your deer permit, which includes 4 deer. Additional permits are $15. For a non-resident adult, the prices have increased, and it's now $160 for the hunting license, and plus an additional $235 for the statewide deer permit, allowing 4 deer. However, if they want an additional permit, it is $15 for the non-resident. So an increase for your adult non-residents. So that wraps up what I want to talk about in this video about the changes to this year's deer season for CWD zones and for our youth hunters. don't forget to check your local sporting goods stores for a hard copy of the a hunting guide. And if you're like me, you read it from cover to cover. So y'all take care, and we'll see you at the deer camp. Plan on being down there Labor Day weekend. So y'all take care.